Welcome to today's class of chapter Comparing Quantities. Well, let us start with ratios. The ratio is used to compare two quantities. These quantities must have the same units. The ratio is represented by "is to" sign, which is read as 2. We can write it in form of fraction. Equivalent ratios. The equivalent ratio is the equivalent fraction, so to find the equivalent ratio we need to write it in form of a fraction. To find equivalent ratio we need to multiply or divide the numerator and denominator with the same number. To compare that the two ratios are equivalent or not, we need to convert them in form of a like fraction. Like fractions are the fractions with same denominator. Proportion. Proportion shows equality between two ratios. If two ratios are in proportion, then they must be equal. Percentage. The percentage is another way of comparison. In ratios, we have to make the denominator same, then only we can compare them, but in percentage, we can compare by calculating the percentage of the given quantity. The percentage is the numerator of the fraction with 100 denominators. Percentage if total is not 100. If the total number of quantity is not 100, that is, denominator is not 100, then to find the percentage, we need to make the denominator 100. Converting fractional numbers to percentage. Fractional numbers have different denominators, and to convert them into percentage, we have to multiply the fractions with 100%. Converting decimals to percentage. To convert the decimal into a percentage, first we need to convert the decimal into fraction and then multiply it by 100. Parts always add to give a whole. If we know that one part of a whole, then we can find the other part because all parts together form a whole or 100%. Fun with estimation. With the help of percentage, we can estimate the parts of an area. Let us take an example here. What percentage of the given figure is shaded? Well, first we have to find the fraction of shaded portion. Out of 4 parts, 3 parts are shaded. So the fractions will be 3 by 4. The percentage of shaded portion is equals to 3 by 4 into 100, that is 75%. Use of percentages. Well, interpreting percentage. To use the percentage in real life, we must be able to interpret the percentage. Increase or decrease as percent. Sometimes we have to find the increase or decrease in certain quantities as percentage, like the increase in population, decrease in sale, etc. Thus, increase or decrease percentage is equals to amount of change upon original amount into 100. Buying and selling. Cost price. Cost price is the price at which you buy some product. It is written as CP. Selling price. Selling price is the price at which you sell something. It is denoted as SP. These are the factors which tell us that sale of some product is profitable or not. Well, if cost price is less than selling price, then it's profit. If cost price is equals to selling price, then there is no profit or no loss. And if cost price is greater than selling price, then there is a loss. Now let us learn about profit or loss percentage. The profit and loss can be converted into percentage. It is always calculated on the cost price. Well, profit percentage is equals to profit into 100 upon cost price, whereas loss percentage is equals to loss into 100 upon cost price. Let us take an example here. If cost price of a laptop is 45,000 and selling price is 50,000, then what is profit or loss percentage? Well, cost price is 45,000, selling price is 50,000, hence we can say that is a clear profit of 5,000 rupees. Thus, profit percentage is equals to 5,000 upon 45,000 into 100, which on simplification gives 11.11%. Now let us learn how to find selling price if cost price and profit or loss percentage is given. Well, selling price is equals to 100 plus profit percentage upon 100 into cost price, or selling price is equals to 100 minus loss percentage upon 100 into cost price. Here, let us also learn how to find cost price if selling price and profit or loss percentage is given. Well, cost price is equals to 100 upon 100 plus profit percentage into selling price. Also, cost price is equals to 100 upon 100 minus loss percentage into selling price. Now, let us learn about simple interest. When we borrow some money from the bank, then we have to pay some interest to the bank. The money which we borrow is called principal. The amount which we have to pay to the bank to use that money is called interest. At the end of the year, we return the money to the bank with the interest, and this is known as amount. Thus, amount is equals to principal plus interest. Also, there is a formula to find simple interest, that is, simple interest is equals to P into R into T upon 100, where P is principal, R is rate of interest, and T is time period. Let us take an example here. Sunita borrows a loan of 50,000 at 15% per year as the rate of interest. Find interest she has to pay at the end of 1 year. Well, principal is 50,000, rate of interest is 15%, time period is 1 year, and so interest is equals to 50,000 into 15 into 1 upon 100, which on simplification gives 7,500 rupees as interest. Thus, the interest that she has to pay is 7,500 rupees, and the amount that she will pay at the end of 1 year will be 57,500 rupees. Interest for multiple years. If we have to calculate the interest for more than 1 year, then we have to change the time period. In above example, if Sunita takes the loan of 3 years, then what will be the total amount after 3 years? Well, here simple interest is equals to 50,000 into 15 into 3 upon 100, which gives the value of interest as 22,500 rupees. Thus, the total amount to be paid by Sunita at the end of 3 years will be 72,500 rupees, whereas the interest to be paid will be 22,500 rupees. Well, I hope you did understand the concepts, and please to solve the exercise in your math fair book. Thank you.